Okay, so we have investment decision here. Maybe it will be good if we're going to start with the first slide. And naririnig nyo ba ako? Okay naman? Okay. So, how about the slide? Are you able to read it clearly? Okay. So, the first slide is actually the title of the PowerPoint, and you have about investment decision. So, when we say investment decision, it's particularly about you trying to make a good decision, or having to make a decision whether to invest it for how many years, and what amount you are particularly able to provide for your investment, and that is dependent on your savings. Apparently, there are those who are risk taker and would always want to make good in the interest that they're going to earn from their investment. You know, plus there is a very big distinction on doing business and making an investment. Because if you do business, you are particularly you are very participative in the conduct of the business operation. But when you do invest, other people are the ones taking charge of how your money will work for you. Except, of course, if you directly play or participate in the stock exchange. Although they allow that, but particularly if you're not so familiar with the way how this one operates, you have to really ask somebody's help, or maybe an agent who can help you out in deciding whether the stock that of your choice is a little bit good. It will give you what percent of earnings in how many days, in how many months, or in how many years. So it is really up to you. So that's why there is the so-called investment decision. And in the investment decision, you're trying to get the value of your money at present. And what will it make of that money? What will that money be in the future with a particular interest that is given? For example, okay, refer it to your first slide. The value of money can be expressed as the present value, okay, with an open and closed parenthesis, or future value, which is compounded. A while ago, when we say present value, it is the discounted amount. Or future value, which is the compounded amount. When we say compounded amount, it means your money of 1,000 pesos will be earning at least 12% per annum. So, how much will be your money after 1 year? Simple interest rate. If it is 12%, 1,000 plus your 12%, that will make how much? Come on, participate. Do you have your calculator with you? Okay. What will make of your 1,000 after 1 year with a 12% interest? 1,000. Okay, 1,120. That means when you say compounded, on the second year, it is the 1,120 that you're going to be having as a principal plus your 12% interest again. It's no longer 1,000 plus the 12% interest. Nakuha nyo ba? Yun ang tinatawag nating compounded. Kasi yung interest niya sa unang taon, i-compute mo na yun, i-consider mo na yun as principal, tapos dadagdagan mo ulit ng 12% sa second year. Paano kung 5 years yan? Anong mangyayari? it becomes what? Kukunin mo yung nakuha mo after 4 years, tapos idadagdag mo ulit yung 12%. Kaya malaki na yan. Malaki na yan kaysa yung sinasabi nating simple interest rate na pare-parehong 12% at pare-pareho yung principal niya. Nakuha nyo ba? Kasi yung interest earning mo na dadagdag every year after year doon sa interest na ipinapatong sa pera mo. Kaya mas maganda yung compounded interest kasi pati yung interest kumikita. Naintindihan nyo ba, class? Okay, let's continue. 1,000 investment in a bank at 10% interest rate for 1 year becomes 1,100. Were you able to compute that now? Kasi kanina with 12%, you have 1,120. But because we're making use of 1,000 pesos in here, so with 10%, that now becomes 1,100. So that means your principal on the second year is 1,100 times 10%. O di 1,100. What will make up of your second year? From the example, future value is 1,000 after 1 year and similarly 1,000 in the present value of 1,100 to be received after 1 year. They are just reciprocal of each other. So, ang ibig sabihin ng reciprocal, your future value, ang reciprocal niya is yung present value of that year. Got it right? Class, you have to tell me pag medyo naguguluhan kayo, ha? Para makapaggawa tayo ng mga examples. Okay, next. We go to this, you try to remember the values here. 10% earning on the first year. So your money of 1,000 pesos becomes now 1,100. Okay, next. The future value. Definition of future or compounded value. It can be defined as the rising value of today's sum at a specified future date given at a specified rate of interest. It is calculated by compounding techniques. Okay, ano yung compounding techniques? Mamaya bibigyan ko kayo ng table para alam nyo kung paano nakuha yung first year at bakit naging ganito yung interest sa second year at kung bakit yung third year ganito na yung amount ng pera nyo. Okay? Basta tatandaan nyo yung definition ng future value. Have you encountered all of this before in some of your subject in finance? So, madali na sa inyo. So, exercise na tayo. Or hindi pa naman. Parang review ulit. Would you want us to continue on this? Class, I need your reaction naman. Would you want us to continue on this? Okay. So, we continue on this number 4. Okay. Look at your slide and it says future value formula and its explanation. This was a very simple example. In practical use, there can be 20 years in place of just 3 years. The problem is, what if the interest is not annually? What if it is monthly? What if it is semi-annual or quarterly? That makes the difference, right? So, the interest, the compounded interest is a lot different pag annual, pag semi-annual, pag quarterly, o kaya monthly, or even weeks. Right? So, yung multiplier mo will be different. So, alin ang mas magandang piliin if you are given a choice? Is it going to be annually? Or is it going to be semi-annually? Or is it going to be monthly or weekly? You have to look at the interest provided annually. At the same time, compare that to the interest that will be given to you quarterly or semi-annually. It's not conclusive that when you are going to have an interest rate which is done quarterly will give you bigger returns. Baka naman if the accumulation of that interest rates that's given to you on a quarterly basis, baka mas malaki pa naman yung yung annual na interest na makukuha nyo. Paano kung 2% lang? Samantalang in annual interest, 10% ang ibibigay sa inyo. Kung quarterly, di 0.8 lang yun. Diba? 0.8 lang yung makukuha nyo pag quarterly. At binigyan ka lang ng 2% interest. Diba? Okay, how it is computed? You have your FB is equals to present value, and then 1 plus R. This is the rate of interest, and then your exponent, number of year. Nakuha nyo ba, class? Do you have your calculator with you? Okay. So, where present value of the principal is 1,000. Lagay nyo, 1,000 divided by 1 plus rate of interest of 10%. And your exponent is 2 years. What did you get? Okay, yan yung present value. Tama ba? Okay. Ang future value naman, ang gagawin mo, yung present value, kunwari ang present value mo is 1,000. What do you do with the compounded interest? Divide or multiply? Multiply, okay? Multiply 1 plus 0.10 to the exponent of 2 years. What did you get? 10. 1,200. 10 ba or 1,201? 210. Okay. Are the others able to follow? Class, are the others able to follow? Okay. Sige. So, tatandaan nyo yan na pag present value ang hinahanap nyo, di-divide. Pag future value, imumultiply. But it's basically the same formula kasi sabi natin reciprocal. Diba? Okay, now, let's try the next slide. Okay. Now, if we solve the above example with a given formula, we get 1,000, 1 plus 0.10, and then 3 years. I-compute nyo nga kung pareho ang makukuha nyo sa 1,331. Pag 3 years, ang kanyang number of years. $1,331. Tama ba? What if 10 years? So, ang gagawin mo lang, you have to change your yung exponent mo, yung number of years, you have to change it instead of 3, gagawin mo lang siyang 10 or yung required number of years. Nakuha nyo ba? Class, nakuha nyo ba? The formula is helpful to calculate amount invested for longer maturity periods. Say 10, 20 years, very quickly and easily. So, yan ang pagkuha. So, even if you say that is an investment for 20 years and you want the value of your money, after 20 years, you will be able to compute for it. Did you understand? Okay, what if if we are going to give you some sentence problem about this one? You have to just look for the present value if you are looking for the future value. Okay? You have to look for the present value. Sandali lang.
942.
Ha?
942.
942. Class, sandali lang ha. I'm back. Okay, tuloy na natin. Ay, nako. Hirap bumaba. Where were we then? About the 20 years or the 10 years. So, mas madali ang computation pag ganito formula. So, for example, the interest is changed on a monthly basis. Then, annual interest rate shall be divided by 12 and number of years and shall be multiplied by 12. Please try. You have to divide your number of years by 12 because the interest was changed to monthly. Is there any difference? If it is for 3 years, at 10%, you have 1,331, correct? Tama ba? Okay, ngayon, yung number of years, you have to divide it by the annual interest rate, which is R, shall be divided by 12. And number of years shall be multiplied by 12. So what did you get? For the others who might not be able to participate because they don't have microphone or their microphone is malfunctioning, you can just key in your answer dito sa chatboard natin. Para ano. Okay, Jude, Prince, Baltasar, what happens? Okay, so that's the difference between multiplying it by year and now since it becomes monthly, there is a slight difference or marginal difference, but you know, if you are considering the number of years, like the 10 years or 20 years, that marginal amount of difference, if you're going to compute it by month or by year, make a lot of difference later on. And that is depending on the amount invested. Did you get it? Malaking bagay yan pag yung number of years ay napakatagal, tapos you are going to compute it by month. Because for example, that 10 years, you're going to have a multiplier of 120. Kasi there are 12 months a year. So, 12 times 10 years, that's basically 120. And that makes a lot of difference. More so if you're going to have 20 years. Diba? Okay, so mas maganda matagalang investment as long as the interest is compounded. Hindi nagpa-fluctuate. Pag nagpa-fluctuate kasi, talo ka. You get it? Because most of the time, pag fluctuating ang ang interest rate mo, mas madalas bumababa at hindi mo makukontrol 'yon. Mas maganda talaga yung talagang constant ang kanyang interest rate. Kung discounted interest, okay lang siya. Kasi habang nagbabayad ka ng, kunwari, nag-a-amortize ka, habang bumababa habang nagbabayad ka, bumababa yung babayaran mong interest. Kasi yung amount ng principal bumababa. Binabawas nila yung nababayad mo na sa amortization mo monthly. Okay? Now, let's go. So, when a frequency of compounding is more, the effective interest amount is also more. So, that is the prescription that you should understand. So, when a frequency of compounding is more, the effective interest amount is also more. Okay, let's proceed to next one. Okay, are you able to visualize this one? So, nakita nyo yung first year, nandyan yung 10% interest and this is the amount that you are going to get. And on the second year, this amount was transferred as the principal and therefore you have this new amount. On the third year, this one had become the present value and now you have that result, yung 1,331. Kung paano kinumpute yan, yung kanina, ganyan ang sequence niya pag gagawin yung manually ang computation. But with the advent of technology now, ang disadvantage kasi nito is that kung 20 taon ang gagawin mo, 20 computation ang kukumputin mo. Okay? Since meron na tayong mga technology na magagamit nyo, meron na tayong program para magagamit nyo, it's very easy to compute the future value of your investment. Nakuha nyo ba? But what is the importance of having to do it manually? Nakikita mo yung progress every year kung magkano na yung pera mo. Hindi yung you're just waiting for number of after 20 years at saka mo titignan o kaya hinihintay mo yung 20 years para i-withdraw mo na o hindi pa yung investment mo. Etong manually done, if it's already time for you to withdraw it because of some necessity or some emergency, at least you know how much you're going to receive already. Get it? Now, let's have slide number 7. This progress of calculation is known as compounding, and the sum arrived at after compounding of initial amount is known as future value. In our example, the future value of 1,000 is 1,331 after 3 years at 10% interest rate compounding annually. Similarly, a present value, yung future value dito, naging present value ng susunod na taon under same condition. Do you get it? Itong future value ng 1,000 mo, naging present value ng susunod na taon. Class, I hope you are able to follow it. Okay? And then we have here the next slide. What does it say about? Who can read it for all of us? Who can read it for all of us? Can we have Mr. Ondevilla? Are you still there? Okay, who can read it clearly for us? How about Bianca Cruz? Hala, walang naimik. Do we have Miss Taginog there? Miss Taginog? Oh, please try to read your screen number 8. Is it clear to you? Okay, please. Okay. 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 So, what is for easy understanding on how many years are you able to double your money? Ilang taon ang kailangan para madoble yung investment mo? Ang ginagamit ay Rule of 72. So, yung interest rate, i-divide mo lang siya ng yung interest rate, i-divide mo lang siya ng 72. Okay? Sige, mamaya, we'll do some practice on that. Now, let's go to next. Formula of Rule 72. 72, ano ba to? For calculating the number of years required to double your money given the rate of interest, the formula is, what if the interest rate is 6%? Anong gagawin mo ngayon? 72 divided by 6%. Anong makukuha nyo? Ilang taon? Pag 6%. Ilang taon? 11? 12? 12 years. Ang example kasi dito is 8 years. So, kasi, ang interest ay 8%. Tingnan natin, kung 72, ang interest ay 12%. How many years will your money be doubled? Six years. Please take note, hindi pinag-uusapan dito yung amount ng investment mo. Ang given dito ay yung interest rate, the prevailing interest rate in the market. Take note. So, 72 is a constant value. Okay? Ito yung sinasabing Friedman's rich numbers. Kasi meron pang ibang mga formula na constant ang kanyang value para makuha mo yung a certain value that you desire to have. And this one is particularly about doubling of your money. Let me give you an example. If you have 5,000 pesos, how many years can that be doubled if the interest rate is 5%? Ilang taong madodoble yung pera mo na 5,000 na investment mo if the interest is 5%? So what did you do there? 72 divided by 5%. So, matagal yun. 'Di ba? 72 divided by 0.05. Kasi 5% lang eh. Oh, what do you get? Ilang taon? A while ago, I was telling you, your principal or your investment has nothing to do with the doubling of years because you have a constant formula of 72. So, 72 divided by 0.05 because it's 5%, then what do you get? Ilang taon yan, di ba? Abutin ng mahigit. Ilang taon? Okay. Biruin nyo, abutin ng 14 years bago madoble yung 5,000 mo. At that time, 10,000 pa lang, di ba? At least, maliit yung value kasi. Eh kung gawin nating 5 million yan, ay, syempre, matagal din yung mas madaling ma-redeem sa 5%. Kaya habang lumalaki yung value ng pera, ng investment nyo, umuunti yung number of years na madodoble siya. Okay? O, sige. So, alam nyo na kung paano gawin ang the rule of 72. Basta ang tatandaan nyo, ang laging constant ay yung 72, that's your numerator, divided by the interest rate. Okay. So, walang kinalaman ang inyong amount of investment. Okay, let's have the present value example with discounting of money. Yung discounting parang present value siya. Okay, who can read it for us? Mark Rafael Flores, please. Mabagal lang ah. Okay, continue. Example. Today. Okay. So, now you understand what is reciprocal. Pabaliktad na computation ng future value. Ito naman, ang kinukompute nyo is present value. Okay? So, if you are, if the 1,000 pesos computed today, but you are expected to get the returns on the third year, it's 1,331. Correct? Tapos, kung ngayon na naabot mo ng 3 years, what was the amount of the principal at today back 3 years ago. Pabaliktad siya. Yun yung kaya nyo minumultiply lang ang present value times yung rate of interest tapos yung exponent niya. Okay, anyway, nandyan naman ang formula. So, nakikita nyo ngayon yung formula dito sa slide number 11. Pag tinignan mo present value, formula, and the explanation. What's this? Diyos ko, hindi ko na mabasa. Is calculated the present value as a formula. Your PV or present value is equal to future value. Your future value divided by 1 over 1 plus number of years. The interest rate and the number of years. Pabaliktad siya, di ba? Kasi dati, present value is equals to future value, ganyan lang siya. Where present value or the principal amount. O, itry nyo nga ulit na gaya ng pabaliktad. Parehong value, yung $1,000. So, ilan ang amount? Kung ngayon nyo kukumputin, 1,331, 3 years ago, anong value nun? Anong present value nun 3 years ago? That is the concept behind it. Okay, mamaya may exercise tayo ha. Okay, future value. Who will help us out? Chelsea Evie Pagtalunan. Chelsea. Comparative lang ito anak eh. Future value and present value. I think you know that already. Please make that as a guide kahit sa quiz natin para hindi nyo makalimutan at alam nyo siya kung paano i-apply. Ang importante kasi pag gagamitin nyo na yung calculator nyo, alam nyo kung ano yung mga pipindutin nyo. But I guess, since you are already 3rd year and you told me you have had experiences of doing this kind of lesson, I hope you all are ready to take some exercise making use of your calculator because today we're going to have an exercise. Is that all right? How about the others? May I know some thoughts coming from the others? May I know some thoughts coming from the others? Are you able to cope with the formula? Are you able to cope with the lesson? Before we go to furthering the information about this quantitative approach and trying to make a decision out of your investment. Are you all still there? Yes po. That's the 26 of you? Sure? Okay. Thank you for standing by. And please try. This is a very, very important slide because you are going to be guided accordingly. But if you want some previous notes about it on how we arrive at the different answer to an investment of $1,000 or 1,000 peso, basically, you know already how to apply it. So let's proceed to your 13. Present value interest factor, present value interest factor, and present value, a future value interest factor table are available to facilitate the ease of calculation. Following is an example of FBF, future value interest factor table with various periods and percentage of interest. For example, in our case, we have to look for R. You have to look for, what is R? Rate of interest equals, what is this? 10%? and the end number of year. The value is 1,331. It's the same example actually that we're using. From this only, we can find present value interest factor just by dividing it by 1, 0.075 times 1 over 1.331, or a separate table is also available. So, let's proceed further. Teka, naglo-load pa. Oh, ito na siya. Okay, nakikita nyo? Sige, diretso yan, dalawang table yan. Okay? I-review ninyo na yan, ha? Okay, next. Calculator trick. O, gamitin nyo na yung calculator nyo. This table can be easily made over calculator. Let the interest rate be 1% lang. 1%. First, convert the percentage to decimal. So, what is 1% into decimal? 1% is equals to 0.01. How about 10%? 0.10. Class, nakuha ba? How about 3.5%? What is the decimal computation for that conversion? 0.035.
Nandyan yung dian.
Ha?
Ang dian, nandyan yung nagagawa sa lamin.
Class, sandali lang ah. Okay, let's continue with this. I am trying to give you some equivalence of percentage to decimal. How are you going to convert, I said 3.5% into decimal? When you have 3.5%, that means 0.035. Pag 35%, how are you going to convert that into decimal? 0.35. Nakuha ba? Hala, hindi kayo umiinit. Pero alam nyo na siguro yun, ano? Now, divide 1 by the step 2, which is 1 over 1.01 is equals to 0.990. That is the discounted rate now, discounted value. And then now press equal sign on the calculator so many times as the number. So kahit na yung pindot nyo sa calculator, you are going to be guided by this. So please take note of this particular set of slides under investment decision, because this will bail you out if you are quite confused about a given problem on investment decision. Nakuha nyo ba, class? Let's proceed. I-separate nyo siya kasi napaka-importante yung mga slides dito. At bibigyan kayo ng idea kung medyo confused kayo kung ano gagawin nyo at kung paano nyo i-compute. And even the computation trick sa calculator, it's all there, step by step of the way. Okay, so I think there are only about 16 slides in this particular lesson. Can we have an exercise now? Okay, can I upload some examples that you can work on? Tapos mamaya I'm going to give you time to compute making use of your formula. And making use of this slide, i-apply nyo siya, tapos titignan ko kung tama yung trabaho nyo. Is that all right? Is that all right? Okay, this is just an exercise where you can work on.